Hi, I'm in denial and I swear I haven't just masturbated. Yes, this is a video on the best guns in Battlefield 5 and no, vigorous acts of self-love have nothing to do with that, but if you're anything like me, first of all, I'm sorry, and secondly, you probably always wonder if the person speaking to you on YouTube has just masturbated. Well, now you don't need to wonder. Wow, interesting choice for an intro. Anyway, the best guns in Battlefield 5. The guns I've chosen haven't necessarily been chosen because they have the best stats, though many of them do actually have some pretty impressive stats in one regard or another. They've been chosen because they make me feel like a homosexual on a seatless bike, erect, whilst concerned about why long hard metal things make me so happy. However, if stats are your kink, my other best in class videos may help you climax. I mean, give you some additional information. I'll leave a link to them below. And whilst I'm on a shameless spree of self-promotion, now may be a good time to ask you to leave a like if you enjoy the video and subscribe for more weird shit just like this. So without further ado, let's proceed. First up on our list is the M1928A1, or the Tommy, because well, it's quicker to say. Now, it might just be because I aim like someone who's recently confused their eye drops with horse piss, easy mistake to make, but the big appeal of the Tommy for me is the huge 50 capacity magazine, drum, whatever the fuck you call that low hanging scrotum on the bottom of it. This in conjunction with the 720 rounds per minute fire rate, the third best of all the medic weapons, and you've got the perfect recipe for insert your massacre of choice here massacre. Okay, the recoil is a bit like a hippo when it shits, in other words, all over the place, but the Tommy is an SMG. In most cases, you'll be using it in close quarters and aiming will be the last thing you'll have time for. It also has an ergonomic handle, which is very important in high stress, high conflict environments, because the last thing you want in the midst of a war is carpal tunnel syndrome. Next is the M30 Drilling. Fun fact for you, the M30 Drilling is actually being used for men who suffer from floppy knob disease, or erectile dysfunction as they like to call it. They simply take the M30 home to their wife, shoot it, and bang, full mast. And just so we're clear, the it wasn't his wife, you know, in case there was any confusion. My point is, the M30 is one of those guns that actually isn't all that practical, but boy will it make you as stiff as Wolverine's penis claw. Do you think that's a thing? Leave a comment below. With a capacity of only 2 shells, you can see the inconvenience this brings. 2 kills, maybe 4 if you can get collateral kills, but let's face it, that's pretty unlikely, before you have to go and hide under your teammate's corpse so you can load your boner pills ready for your next orgasm. Kills, I said kills. I mean, if you clamped my balls in a vice and told me that I had to pick a gun that is the most fun to use, firstly, I think you should have at least bought me dinner before we got to ball clamping. Secondly, why do you need to know so badly that you're willing to crush my balls? And finally, I'd pick the M30. Now, the M1907 SF. You know how you fart sometimes and it smells like Zeus took a god of all gods shit in a can, atomized it, and then sprayed it in your general area, and then you say something like, wow, that stinks. It's like Zeus shat in a can and atomized it in my general area, and then you can't help but keep smelling it. That can't just be me. I'm pretty sure Austin Powers or Fat Bastard or someone said something similar. Anyway, the M1907 SF is the fart. I don't know why I like it, I just do. It's got a pretty decent fire rate, the second best in the assault class at 770 rounds per minute. So I suppose it kind of feels like an SMG, and seeing as though the SMGs are well suited to playing aggressively, which is what I tend to do, maybe that's it. Wow. Thank you for joining me on this voyage of self-discovery. Maybe in a future video we could discover why I say weird shit, record it, and then post it online disguised as a useful guide to the best guns in Battlefield 5. Fourth up is the Kar 98K. This is the only sniper you'll see in this video, and that's not because I once got molested by a sniper. In fact, getting molested by a sniper isn't actually that uncomfortable, and my colon would still be intact to this day if it wasn't for the 64x scope, but I digress. The Kar 98K, in my opinion, is probably the best sniper in the game, and again, when you look at the stats, I'm not too sure why. It has a slightly lower damage than the Gewehr M95-30 and the Type 99 Arisaka, and it also has a slower rate of fire at 48 rounds per minute. But what it does have is a high bullet velocity, the joint highest in the Recon class. And what does a high bullet velocity equal? That's right, chlamydia. And everyone knows that one of the good side effects of chlamydia is that you won't have to lead your shots so much, which can give you the impression of easier aiming. Another good side effect is that you can now create both yellow and red snow. Sexually transmitted disease, more like sexually transmitted wintertime fun. Now the Lewis gun. The Lewis takes the best part of the MMGs, the capacity, and combines it with the manoeuvrability of an LMG or even an assault rifle, making it actually feel a lot more like an assault rifle with a huge capacity. Ideal when you think that one of the main shortcomings of the assault rifles is their 30 on average magazine capacity. But obviously having an assault rifle with an impressive capacity would be like having a 12-inch cock and the girth of Dumbo's leg. Something's gotta give. So in penis terms, it's either the inches or the girthage. Or you can have both inches and girth, but your knob would have to be made of silly string. However, as this is a video about the best guns, this means recoil. It's pretty shit. Shit, but definitely controllable. Even more so when you consider you've also got the bipod, perfect for defensive playstyles or camping bitches. I'm not judging, bitch is merely a term of endearment. For instance, I may say to the old lady in front of me in the queue, "Hello bitch, could you please get out of the fucking way?" and should she oblige, I may add, "Thank you bitch." It's just like saying, "Hey friend, I respect you," but quicker, try it. But in terms of compromise, I think recoil is probably the only one that you'll actually notice. Rate of fire is pretty decent, damage is good, velocity is good, and so on and so on. Next is the Suomi KP/-31. With the second fastest rate of fire of all the medic guns at 770 rounds per minute and a hefty 50 capacity magazine, need I say any more as to why the Suomi has a big penis? Well, I'm going to say more because you haven't been through enough psychological scarring yet, and if my therapist is right, what doesn't psychologically scar you can only give you a bigger dick. Which reminds me, I don't actually have a therapist, and I really must stop taking LSD through my ass.
Stop it. Get some help.
Wow, isn't it crazy where life's decisions lead you? But anyway, I think the big reason the Suomi is a favourite of mine is that it has almost been tailored to an aggressive playstyle. If you're an aggressive player, what are your biggest requirements from a gun? You need something that can sit fuckers down in a matter of milliseconds. You need sufficient ammo to spray and pray, you need sufficient ammo to clear multiple enemies without reloading, and you need a half decent hipfire spread, and would you believe it, the Suomi checks all of those boxes. I suppose the only downside of the Suomi is that it's not great at longer ranges, but who's going to be using it at longer range anyway? And like I mentioned with the penis, it's either inchage or girthage. Now that's a t-shirt design right there. Next is the STG-44. Another great all-rounder here, the STG-44 has a good rate of fire at 599 rounds per minute, it offers a pretty good level of damage and a good magazine capacity. And I mean, being good is alright, but it doesn't necessarily suggest being the best, does it? So what the fuck am I on about? No, seriously, at this point I don't actually know what I'm on about, and to be completely frank, because when you can't be yourself you should be frank, he seems nice, I haven't had a clue what I've been on about up to this point, but yeah, subscribe for more quality content just like this.
Hi, I'm
yeah. I don't know why it's actually one of the best. It's just one of those guns where shots just seem to connect, if you know what I mean. I guess the bullet velocity is pretty good, which would make it feel more accurate, but so is the Sturmgewehr. So basically the STG-44 is one of the best because don't know. So if the STG-44 is one of the guns that froths your chops, limbers your timber, or how else can I subtly put it, gives you a whopping big stiff penis, leave a comment below and tell me why, because I have no idea why it's one of the best. And finally, the Model 37. It has the highest damage per pellet of all of the shotguns, the second highest rate of fire at 149 rounds per minute, and to top it all off, it also has the tightest spread of all of the shotguns. So unlike the STG-44, it's pretty clear on paper why the Model 37 could be considered one of the best guns. And I don't mean to compare the two because they're totally different, but who doesn't go to the urinals and take a quick peek, photo, detailed sketch and measurements of their piss partner? I know I do, and that's perfectly normal. Why are people so hostile about it? So, what are the downsides? Well, besides the obvious of a high damage fall off after about 10 meters, which is standard for all of the shotguns, I can't think of anything. The only thing that I'm not so moist about, and this is really anal. Isn't it weird how you can use the word anal in a sentence without meaning the insertion of a gentleman's meat stick into the muddy love tunnel of another person? Anyway, this is really anal, but if a shotgun doesn't give you acute tinnitus after using it, is it really a shotgun? You know, the M30 sounds like it really does kick like a mule, whereas the Model 37 sounds more like an old man sneezing. Yeah, pretty fucking loud, and we get it, you're trying to use a bodily function to get attention, but please just go away. But like I say, I enjoy anal. I mean, I'm being anal here. So there we go, the best guns in Battlefield 5. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment and subscribe for more content just like this.